Your dog has been trying to tell you something. Not in barks, not in tail wags, not in the obvious ways you already notice. In thousands of microsignals every single day, your dog is communicating information that most owners walk right past. And science, real science from universities and research labs around the world, has been quietly decoding those signals. What they've found is both humbling and extraordinary. Your dog understands more than you give it credit for, feels more than you realize, and has been patiently waiting for you to catch up. Break This video is about closing that gap. 7 things your dog wishes you understood. Each one backed by research. Each one with the power to change how you see the animal living in your home. Your dog reads your emotions before you feel them here is something that should stop you in your tracks. New research from Arizona State University found that humans typically do not have a good understanding of the emotional state of their dog. Not because we don't care, because we are watching the wrong thing. We look at the situation surrounding the dog and base our reading on that. We are not watching the dog itself. And while we are misreading our dogs are reading us with extraordinary precision. Research has established that dogs are sensitive to human gaze, to your body posture, the set of your jaw, the rhythm of your breathing. But new studies have gone further. Dogs synchronize their behavior with the people around them. They produce significantly more facial movements when a human is paying attention to them. Think about what that means. Your dog is not just reacting to you. It is actively adjusting its own expressions based on whether you are looking at it. It is performing, communicating, reaching toward you, and calibrating that reach in real time based on your attention. The head tilt yog, patterning, irrésistible gesture. Research has found that the head tilt happens when dogs process meaningful external cues, such as the name of a toy they know.
It is not
cuteness. It is cognition. Your dog is physically repositioning its ears and auditory processing to extract more information from what you are saying. Every time your dog tilts its head at you, it is working to understand you better. The question is whether you are working equally hard to understand it. Your stress is literally their stress. Through your smell, this one is going to change how you come home from a bad day. Dogs experience emotional contagion from the smell of human stress, not the sight of stress, not the sound of it, the smell. Your dog can detect the specific chemical signature of your stress response. Before you have said a single word, before you have visibly changed your behavior, potentially before you have even fully registered the feeling yourself. And what does it do with that information? Research published in scientific reports found that job stress relates to behaviorally indicated stress in dogs. Pet dogs of owners with higher job stress were themselves more stressed. This is not a metaphor. It is not anthropomorphism. It is a documented biological process. And your dog is running it constantly. When you walk through your door carrying the weight of a difficult meeting, your dogs. It knew before the door opened, and it does not just recognize your stress. It absorbs it. Its own emotional state shifts in response to yours. Your dog does not live in its own separate emotional bubble. It lives in yours, the household's emotional climate. Its tensions, its joys, its anxieties. Is your dog's emotional climate too? But this works in the other direction as well. Research has shown that dogs can reduce emotional distress, increase life satisfaction, and even help treat post-traumatic stress disorder. The relationship is bidirectional. You regulate each other. You always have.
They understand
now science can tell you exactly how. They understand more of your words than you think you probably know your dog understands sit, stay, and walk. But the science of what is actually happening when your dog responds to language is far stranger and more interesting than simple command recognition. Dogs do not process language the way we do. They are not parsing sentences. They are reading communication. The whole package of your tone, your gaze direction, your body orientation, and the words themselves, all simultaneously, all weighted together. This means your dog is not really listening to what you say. It is listening to how you mean it. There are situations in which dogs make inferences about our wishes and upcoming events based on our verbal signals. From the formal commands used by shepherds with their sheepdogs, to the carelessly uttered going for a walk on a plan to be lazy Sunday afternoon. That last example is one every dog owner will recognize. You say going for a walk and the dog loses its mind, even if you said it quietly, even if you did not move, even if you did not reach for the leash. But here is the nuance that matters. When you say ball, you form a visual image of a round object. When your dog hears ball, it may be reconstructing an entire experience. The smell of the ball, the feeling of grass under its paws, the motion of the chase, the reward of return. It is not less than your understanding. It is different, and in some ways, it may be richer. They know when you're watching, and when you're not. This one is going to make you look at your dog very differently the next time you leave the room. A 2025 study investigated canine perspective-taking by challenging dogs to decide whether and where to steal food in the absence of a human who had prohibited them from doing so. The dogs could only infer the experimenter's presence through a sound they had heard during a prior exploration phase, in which they had also observed from which locations in the room the human was visible. The majority of dogs preferred to steal from a plate that was not visible from the location where the human had been. Read that again carefully. Dogs were not just checking whether the human was in the room. They were remembering which locations gave the human a line of sight, and choosing the theft location that fell outside that line of sight. This is not instinct. This is reasoning. Your dog is modeling your visual perspective, remembering the spatial geometry of your position, and making a calculated decision based on what you can and cannot see. Break your dog is not disobeying rules because it does not understand them. It understands them perfectly. It is making a decision, a calculated, reasoned decision, about when the cost of following the rule outweighs the benefit of breaking it. That is not a training failure. That is intelligence. And the appropriate response is not punishment after the fact. It is understanding the motivation driving the decision and addressing that. You misread their emotions more than you realize. This may be the hardest thing in this video for dog owners to hear. But the research is clear enough that it has to be said directly. When researchers edited videos so that a dog filmed in a happy context appeared to be in an unhappy situation, and a dog filmed in an unhappy context appeared to be in a happy one, people's emotional readings of the dog flipped accordingly. They were reading the situation, not the animal. If you are reading your dog's emotional state based on context rather than behavior, you are probably missing a significant amount of what your dog is actually communicating. You see your dog at the dog park, surrounded by other dogs and toys and activity, and you read happy. But your dog may be overwhelmed, anxious, stressed, communicating that clearly in its body language while you read the context as positive. You see your dog lying quietly while you work, and you read content. But your dog may be in a low-grade state of boredom that, over time, is affecting its well-being. The additional complication is human projection. We overlay human emotional logic onto dog behavior in a way that clouds true understanding. Your dog does not smile when it is happy the way you do.
This behavior
It does
is a
not
response
lower
to
its
the
head when it
owner's
is
body
ashamed
language
the
and
way
emotional
guilt looks
state.
on a human face.
It is not guilt.
The
It is
behaviors that look like human emotional expressions often mean something different, or are performing a different function entirely. Learning to read your dog's actual emotional signals is one of the most important skills any dog owner can develop. Not because it makes you a better trainer, because it makes you a more honest companion to an animal that has been reading you fluently since the day it met you. Boredom is not laziness. It's a welfare issue. There is a behavior pattern in millions of dogs that is almost universally misunderstood. The dog that destroys furniture. The dog that barks incessantly. The dog that paces or digs or seems impossibly restless. These are not bad dogs. They are not disobedient. They are not dominant. They are bored. And boredom in dogs is not the mild, inconvenient feeling it tends to be for humans. It is a chronic welfare problem with measurable biological consequences. Duke University research found that dogs evolved specific cognitive traits that support communication with humans. They are wired for cooperation, for social engagement, for the kind of collaborative problem-solving that defined their relationship with humans for tens of thousands of years. A brain built for cooperation and engagement, placed in an environment that offers 8 hours of empty silence each day, is not resting, it is suffering. The behaviors owners call destructive or naughty are almost always communication. Your dog is not ruining your sofa out of spite. It is doing the only thing available to it that provides any stimulation at all. The destruction is a symptom. The diagnosis is insufficient mental and social engagement. The solution is not more discipline. It is more of what the dog is actually built for: exploration, problem-solving, social connection, purposeful activity. A 10-minute scent game in the backyard is more mentally exhausting for a dog than a 1-hour walk on a leash where it is not allowed to sniff. Hiding pieces of food around the house before you leave gives a dog a job. Teaching a new behavior, even a silly one, engages the cooperative problem-solving circuits that your dog is wired to use. Research has confirmed that positive experiences, including exploration, human interaction, and novel challenges, measurably affect dogs' emotional states and stress resilience. The dog in your home has a working brain designed through thousands of years of cooperative evolution with humans. Giving it something to do with that brain is not optional enrichment. It is basic welfare. They choose you every day on purpose. Everything you have heard in this video: the emotion reading, the stress absorption, the language processing, the strategic perspective taking, all of it adds up to something that should land with considerable weight. Your dog knows a great deal about the world. It has sophisticated cognitive tools for navigating social situations. It understands cause and effect. It models the minds of others. It processes risk and reward. And every morning, with all of that cognitive machinery available to it, it chooses to be with you. Not because it has no other option. Not because it is simply conditioned to. Researchers argue that dogs succeed around people because of their capacity to form strong emotional bonds with members of other species, and that their intelligence stems from and is in service of that bond. The intelligence is not separate from the love. The intelligence is how the love expresses itself. Break every careful reading of your emotional state, every synchronization of behavior, every patient wait at the door. These are not just behaviors. They are the application of a sophisticated social brain toward one primary purpose: being close to you. When dogs and their owners interact, oxytocin levels rise in both parties, the same hormone that bonds human parents to their children, that creates the feeling of love and attachment. It floods both your system and your dog's when you are simply together. This is not poetry. It is endocrinology. The relationship between you and your dog is a genuine biological bond, maintained actively by two brains that evolved, in part, to be in exactly this relationship. 7 things your dog wishes you understood. And perhaps the most important one is this: it already understands you better than you know. The gap between you is mostly on your side, and it has been waiting, with extraordinary patience and loyalty, for you to close it. So what do you do with all of this? You watch the dog, not the situation. When you want to know how your dog is feeling, look at its body, its weight distribution, its ear position, its respiratory rate, the tension or relaxation in its muscles, not what is happening around it. You take your emotional state seriously as a shared experience. What you bring home, your dog absorbs.
Good dog.
That is
That
not
was
a burden.
wonderful.
It is a bond.
Yes.
You enrich the environment. Give your dog's brain something to do. Hide food, teach new behaviors. Allow real sniffing on walks. A mentally engaged dog is a behaviorally settled dog. And you pay attention to what your dog is actually communicating, not what you assume it must be feeling given the situation. The research on dog cognition is still being written. New studies appear every year, and they consistently reveal an animal that is more sophisticated, more emotionally complex, and more tuned into us than previous generations understood. Your dog has always known this about itself. Now you do too.